Hi, I'm Billy from Edmonton. I'm pleased to offer my story to Joanne about my father's legacy and all that he taught me about financial and estate planning. My father was born in the early 20th century and was a hard worker. He was also a great thinker and an amazing planner. His foundations of money and savings have impacted me to this day. My father's death and his legacy. When my father died, it was the most terrible day. He died suddenly with an aggressive form of cancer, and sadly, the time we had renewed together went far too fast. We have not been close recently, but I held on to many strong childhood memories. Most of what I know about money and savings came from my father. My father tried hard to give my brothers and me a good sense of financial practicality. My first memory about money was his giving me an allowance. I can recall saving my allowance, which was given to me in dimes. This money was traded for candy down at the corner drugstore. My father taught me that if I saved enough of my dimes, I could earn the privilege to purchase a comic book. I eventually had a lot of comic books, which I enjoyed and treasured for many years. My father had a great job, and we were securely middle class, yet he did not spend money freely and always taught us the value of saving. We were often told there was not enough money to purchase that which we asked for. Yet despite this, he was always very generous and he always gave to local charity causes. When it came time for me to purchase a car, I was told that he would help, but I needed to also save for this goal. I needed to obtain a job. If I was to save half of the money that I needed for a vehicle, my father would contribute the other half. My father's team. As an adult, I can recall visiting my father at his home on a number of occasions. He would talk about his financial investments and told me all the banks and the investment firms that he dealt with. One day, he took me to his financial advisor's office. I was quite young at the time and I did not wish to go, but I went anyways, and my father had said that it was important that I know about his financial situation. Soon I began to invest as well and think about my long-term future. I also visited his lawyer, accountant, and his life insurance advisor. I recall that my father referred to them as his team, a team that I found strange at the time. But a team they were. When my father passed away, the life insurance representative was quick to answer my questions and deliver the insurance proceeds to me. Like in life, my father had left an additional life insurance policy that was designated for a list of his favorite charities. His lawyer assisted me in sorting out the details of his will, which also included charitable contributions. As named administrator of his will, I can tell you I was happy to have the assistance of my father's accountant. My father's final preparations. I was quite amazed at the details involved with my father's planning his final wishes. Attached to his will, the location of which was earlier carefully told to me, was an envelope holding his final written wishes. My father had prepared for his funeral and listed out his final wishes down to the last details: services, flowers, obituary, etc. He even attached names, addresses, and other details for all of the arrangements that he had made. Attached to his obituary were family photos and photos of himself, both young and recent. I was amazed that he so thoughtfully included photos with his obituary. Also attached were instructions on how to access his bank account for final expenses. Unknown to me at the time, there were many expenses that I had not thought about. Running the obituary, for example, was extremely costly. There were two main newspapers, and our family spans a few Canadian provinces. The total cost for running the obituary was into the thousands of dollars. I was glad that I did not have to ask my brothers for any money towards this cost. Also, there were a few other incidental costs related to his funeral that were not included in the prepayment plan. But they all added up, and I was very happy to have access to this final bank account. My father's estate planning was a gift to us. I honestly think that my father's financial planning for his passing was an act of great courage and selflessness. When someone you love dies, it is heart-wrenching. It's physically and emotionally draining. You're in no position to be making decisions about funerals and final expenses, never mind the larger legal, tax, or financial decisions that go along with it. In summary, not planning for your own estate is a huge mistake. Spend a little time and a little thinking about what your final wishes are. What is your legacy? Does your family know you have final wishes? Have you left a life insurance policy or other means in order to support your final wishes? It has been a rewarding experience for me to get my story out there. I hope my story helps you in your own estate planning. And please consider submitting your own inspirational story to Armadillo Inspirations.